We are now going to move straight on and start looking at some of the ABAP code that we will use to generate our selection screens. So I'll start by creating a brand new program. I'll call this ZScreens1. Okay, we have our blank report. And the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the initialization event. If you remember, the initialization event is the first thing that gets triggered in our program, the first event block. So if we recall, we have an employee table that we set up in the system. And let's say for our program, we would like to know the last employee number that was used to create an employee record. Now the initialization event is the ideal place for this type of code. So we can find out what the last employee number was and display it to the user on the selection screen so that they know not to select any values greater than that last employee number. So let's start off, we'll just save and check everything. Let's start off and declare the table statement, because what we're going to do is read records from our ZEmployees table. So we'll declare the tables that we are going to use. ZEmployees. Now let's declare a data statement so we can hold the value of the last employee number that has been used in the table. So WA employee, so that's like a work area. We'll use the like statement to reference our table. And the field is going to be the employee field. Now, this is where we create our initialization section. So all we need to do is type in initialization. And then we start writing our code. So to get the last employee number, we'll use a select statement. And let's just use a generic one. We'll select all the fields, even though all we need is the employee number field. And because this is going to be a select loop, what we're going to do is populate our work area field, WA employee, with the value of the employee number from the table. So we will say WA employee equals ZEmployees dash employee. Then we will end our select statement. And that's about it. Let's just pretty it up. Have a check. Oh, that's a refreshing change. No typos. So let's have so what this is going to do, when our program is run, the runtime environment will realize we have an initialization event block and execute the code in this event block. And that's going to be select every record from the ZEmployees table and populate our work area field, WA employee, with the employee number field. And that's all there is to it. Let's just test this piece out. So what we'll do is just a simple write statement. And we will write out WA employee to the screen. And I'll just comment out the initialization so it's a standard program. So I'll press F8 to execute. And there you can see the last number being used in our table. So as a reminder, the select statement is a loop. Okay, it's not picking up all the records and putting it in a table. It's going to process the records one at a time. So what it'll do, it'll read the first record, populate this work area field. Come to the end of the select statement and then start again, and it'll continue that loop until the last record in the table has been read, and then it will write our WA employee work area variable to the screen. So now we have the last employee number stored in a variable. Let's get rid of this write statement and put back in the initialization. We can move on and take a look at the @selection screen event.